Welcome to my channel. I'm very thankful for every person that comes to see my videos. I'm also thankful for those of you who have subscribed. My channel continues to grow and it continues to amaze me. I'm thankful for every one of you that likes my videos, that shares my videos, that comments on my videos. I'm just thankful for all the traffic that I get, and I really do appreciate it. I want to thank each and every one of you for building up my channel because it's you that's doing it. I want to ask you a question. Are you familiar with George Soros's project to replace prosecutors across the country with prosecutors who will be easy on crime? He also had another project to change the secretaries of state because the secretaries of state control the elections. And you have to ask yourself, why would he be doing this? What's his goal? What's he trying to accomplish? Well, with the prosecutors, the only thing I can think of that he would be trying to accomplish is he's trying to create chaos across the country. This is a prosecutor in Virginia. She was removed from a case. But I want you to look at what this prosecutor is doing. A judge removed her from a burglary case because he claimed that she misled the court and downplayed the suspect's criminal past to get a more lenient plea deal. She says the judge has no authority to disqualify her office from the case. She wants the Virginia Supreme Court to direct the circuit court to nullify the order because it's without authority, and more importantly, it was without an opportunity for the parties to be heard. But what is going on with this woman? Well, just for example, there was a man whose 8-year-old daughter was raped by a transvestite. Now, I don't know about you, but if you claim you're trans and you're raping women, you're just lying. You're flat out lying. And that's what this man did. He raped an 8-year-old girl. And then the judge let him off with an ankle bracelet, sent him to a different school. This prosecutor, not the judge, this prosecutor, let him off with an ankle bracelet, decided not to prosecute him, released him with an ankle bracelet, sent him to a different school, and guess what he did? Raped another girl. The father of the first girl that was raped got upset about this and went to the school board to complain. And guess what? This woman wanted to prosecute the father. That's how warped she is. That's how warped she is. She told the Attorney General of the state of Virginia to stay out of her business. And she hired a convicted sex offender as a paralegal. A convicted sex offender. Well, guess what? The people of Virginia apparently have voted her out of office. She's refusing to concede, but the last time I checked, and we can check again, look at the election results. Oh, I hate the New York Times. Not there. Let's see. Yeah. Her opponent says there's no current path to victory, I can't remember where I found it, but I checked the results, and he was leading by over 1,000 votes with like 99.9% of the vote in. She's not going to win the election. She is almost certainly going to demand a recount, which is her right, okay? It's her right to do that. But what blows my mind is we have a prosecutor who doesn't prosecute a transvestite who raped an 8-year-old girl, tries to prosecute the father of the 8-year-old girl, releases the transvestite with an ankle monitor, after which he commits a second rape. Wow. Hires a sex offender for her own office, and she almost gets reelected. I mean, what's going on? Are voters just not paying any attention? Are they not aware of what's going on? Or do they actually approve of this kind of behavior? It's stunning to me that this woman, to me, she should have lost like 80% to 20%. You know, you're always going to have your 20% that's just doofus. They'll vote for a Democrat or a Republican no matter what. They don't care if the person is a rapist. They don't care if the person's a murderer. They don't care if they've committed serious crimes. They don't care if they've committed fraud, if they've been involved in bribery. There was a guy in Louisiana who was caught by the FBI with $100,000 in his freezer from a bribe that he had taken, and he got reelected. So, you know, voters are idiots in a lot of cases. They're just idiots. They're completely idiotic. It's the only word I can think of to describe it. But it blows my mind that this woman almost got reelected. Oh, boy. She released a man who was charged. Okay, now listen to this. She released a man who was charged with brutally assaulting, strangling, and abducting his wife. She released him, and guess what he did? He went and killed his wife with a hammer. You know, down here in Texas, we have a saying, he just needs killing. It's been around for a long, long time. And what it's referring to is there are certain people in the world that they just need to be gone. They need to be out of here because they cannot exist around normal people without creating havoc, without just destroying lives. The poster boy for this is a man in Texas named Kenneth McDuff. As you can see by this graph, he killed 3 people in 1966. 2 men and a woman. He killed the woman with a broomstick. He choked her with a broomstick, and he choked her so hard that he broke her neck. He was convicted of the murders. He was sentenced to death. Then his death sentence was commuted. And then, because our prisons were getting overcrowded, he was released. A triple murderer was released. 3 days after he got out of prison, he beat and strangled a girl. That was in 1989. By 1992, he had killed 5 more women. When he was finally rearrested, this time he was convicted and he was executed. Some people just need killing. We have capital punishment in this country. In some places, they may have it on the books, but it never happens. Here in Texas, we still put people to death. And I've heard this argument that capital punishment is not a deterrent. Well, no, it's not. It's a punishment. It's not designed to be a deterrent. If it deters somebody, wonderful. But its purpose is to put to death the people that need killing, that need to be gone from the human race because they're evil. I'm sure that the families of these 6 women that he killed after he was convicted and sentenced to die are not too thrilled with the state having commuted his sentence and then released him. All 6 of these women would be alive if they had just carried out his punishment to begin with. And look, I get it. Sometimes innocent people are convicted. There's no question about that. I think it's less likely that an innocent person gets put to death because they have such a process in place that checks and double and triple and quadruple checks everything, that it's unlikely that an innocent person would be put to death. It's not impossible, but it's unlikely. But the solution to that problem is not to get rid of the death penalty. The solution to that problem is to fix the flaws in our prosecuting system, in our justice system, where we have prosecutors that are trying to make a name for themselves by just getting someone convicted without paying any attention to the evidence, where we have prosecutors that are hiding evidence from the defense because they want to get a conviction, where we have prosecutors who are accepting a suborning perjured testimony in order to get a conviction. Those prosecutors need to be removed from office. At a minimum, in my opinion, they should go to jail. If it can be proven that a prosecutor hid evidence, deliberately hid evidence from the defense, the prosecutor should go to jail and he should lose his law license, his or hers. If it can be proven that a prosecutor put a witness on the stand when he knew the witness was perjuring himself, knew it, then the prosecutor should be removed from office, be stripped of his legal degree or his bar status, and never allowed to practice again. But we don't do that. We just coddle them. And we make excuses for them and we let them get away with stuff. That needs to be fixed. But that's a completely separate issue from capital punishment. When you have a Kenneth McDuff, he needs to die, plain and simple. And when you have prosecutors like this bozo in Virginia who are clearly not enforcing the law, they need to go to jail too. They need to be removed from office, they need to lose their law license, and they need to be put in jail for failure to perform their duties. It's that simple. Look, I don't know any other way to put it. Like I said, in Texas, we have a saying, some people just need killing. They're too evil to leave them alive because they will hurt other people. They will kill other people. And they need to be gone, plain and simple. And by the way, the Bible supports that. If you want to talk about that, say something in the comments. I'll respond to you there. I'm not going to yank up all the verses now. But the Bible supports capital punishment, plain and simple. So if you're a Christian, if you're really a Christian, you should be supporting capital punishment too. As always, I pray that you will be abundant, that you will live a long life, that you'll be healthy, and that God will keep you safe, and that He'll do the same for every person that you love. I pray that you'll be anxious for nothing, but in all things, through prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, you'll let God know your requests, and the peace that passes all understanding will keep your heart and mind in Christ Jesus. This is the Vietnam Era Vet, out.